Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon and I am still alive and well. Though sometimes I may not have felt like it. This is going to be another casual conversation video because frankly, I need to get back into habits. It has been a slow, long, tedious grind for me from Christmas until this point, which is the end of March. Specifically, it is Sunday, March 23rd right now. And I'm hoping to edit and get this video up today. So, if casual conversations aren't your thing, go ahead and watch one of my other videos. Otherwise, if you're curious, stick around. I'm going to share a little bit about what I've been up to during these last few months, why I've made some changes, and what I'm hoping to do moving forward. First of all, why have I been, I feel like I've been completely MIA on YouTube. And at first, I was beating myself up thinking about the fact that, oh my goodness, am I letting a dream slip by? I've really enjoyed creating content for YouTube, so it became kind of a hobby for me. And I'm like, man, why did I stop? Why did I let that momentum really come to almost a grinding halt? And when I really thought about it, it hasn't been by choice. It's been by necessity. Sometimes our plate just gets so full of other things that have to be done that the things that we want to do we don't have the opportunity to do them. So, what have I been doing? Long story short, I am now a caregiver for our adult son with special needs. What does that mean? It means essentially I've moved from a parent role to caregiver, which means he's over 18, which means I'm now managing I am not his guardian, just to get that out of the gate there. I have a supported decision-making agreement in place, which is legal in the state of Washington. Both my husband and myself and Mark, our son with special needs, who is now over 18, went in front of a notary. I explained every single line to him in terms that he could understand. We signed it in front of the notary. And essentially what that is Mark is giving us permission to support his decision making. He retains his autonomy, which protects his rights. But it also protects us as parents because that way my husband and I aren't legally responsible or financially responsible should he screw up. So, yeah, there's that. I've been managing his finances, setting him up with a checking account, a savings account, applying for Social Security or applying for SSI, supplemental security income for him. He's also in a transition program. And now I'm his caregiver, which means I essentially do all the same stuff that I was doing for him before as his mom, but doing it in kind of a different way. And that has been a lot. It has been a lot of phone calls, a lot of paperwork, a big learning curve. I had mandatory training through the state of Washington in order to be his caregiver. So yeah, that has taken, to be truthful, a crap ton of my time and my energy. On the other hand, our other son, who is 19, just graduated this week. He earned his Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry with ACS certification, which is American Chemistry Society certification, which means he took a bunch of extra classes. But we're super duper proud of him because he's only 19, and he's already got his bachelor's. And because of his hard work, taking advantage of accelerated programs, he now has his bachelor's free and clear, which I still don't. I'm still paying off those student loans. Something else I've been doing for the last several months is really trying to get myself in a better mindset, a better mental space. And some days have been fine, but there have been a lot of reasons I haven't been fine lately. So let's go ahead and dig into that. Total transparency here. I live in the Pacific Northwest. It is gray. It is raining. And it's nice and bright here in my closet, my little office area, because I have a fake window that I made and I have bright daylight LED lights. So this is nice and bright. But the moment I leave my little closet area, it is doom and gloom out there. So that doesn't help. 2, dealing with the whole caregiver stuff, that has been a lot, and that has taken a toll. 3, there's been a lot of changes at work, a lot of shakeups, a lot of stuff I'm not real okay with. That's been upsetting. Jason's unemployment ran out, so that is, nerve-wracking. And I have been, again, transparency, dealing with a lot of not so fun menopausal symptoms. And while my psoriatic arthritis has been really in check and doing well, I think that, it's just physically, it's been an interesting. Menopause is a huge biological change, and that affects, unfortunately, my mood, which I think my husband would agree. I do a pretty darn good job at containing my emotions and feelings, but that's very intentional. It doesn't happen by accident. Let's put it that way. And that takes energy, right? It takes mental real estate and time and energy, and that can be tiresome. And I'm also in this position right now where I'm just not where I want to be personally. I have a lot of goals, a lot of aspirations, and I recognize that nothing changes if nothing changes, right? We have to, instigate that change. And I once heard it said that motivation comes before work, only in the dictionary. And so I decided to go ahead and devote some time and energy into giving myself a win. And what is that win? I have a personal goal of releasing at least one book, not at least, one book is plenty, one book every 3 months or every quarter in 2025 to hopefully move that needle forward to me reaching a dream that I've had for years. And that is to make an income and just create a name for myself as an author. And not just an author, but my goal is to really put stuff out there that genuinely, truly empowers and equips people to make immediate change in their own life. And what do I mean by that? There is a ton of people, too many people, frankly, out there who I think, say hustle hard and you can do and get whatever you want if you work hard enough. And well, you know what? I'm here to say that sometimes just coping effectively and managing to stay okay in the midst of all the crap you can't change, that's a real triumph. That's a win too. And I can say that without malice or judgment because I'm there. One example of this, our adult son with special needs, he speaks in a very monotone, almost robotic way of speaking. I'm going to give you an example. My name is Mark. My birthday is in August. I like football. I like to watch movies. It's very monotone. There is no pitch change. There is no intonation, no indication of emotion at all. And that's because of his intellectual disability and his special needs. In fact, Mark was required to do an IQ test, an evaluation or assessment from the Social Security Administration. They scheduled a third party doctor, a doctor we didn't know. And I actually got a copy of the report because I requested that because I thought it would be good to have for Mark's IEP meeting. Even though he's over 18, he's in a transition program to the age of 22, and they still do IEP meetings. So I wanted that information because those are expensive tests. I thought, well, if they're already requiring Mark to do it, I might as well help Mark with that information as well. And as I was reading the report, the doctor noted multiple times about how Mark had a very flat affect in the way his speech sounds. And it dawned on me that even though I don't want to feel this way, I have a very physical and visceral reaction to his speech. And sometimes I'm better able to deal with it than others. But lately, and I think this is because I've been really worn down and running on empty, so to speak, it makes the inside of my chest like rumble, and it makes me very anxious when I hear his voice sometimes. Like, again, sometimes I'm able to deal with it. When I can't deal with it, sometimes I just need a break and I just come in our room. And we actually installed weather stripping around the frame of our bedroom door because my little office area here it's the walk-in closet in our bedroom. And so we put weather stripping. So if I really need an auditory break from the sound of his voice, I can come in here and close the door. Not his fault. Absolutely not. Can I control it? No. And it's not my fault either. I'm having a very physical reaction to it. But I have to find ways to cope. And so I think coping gets a bad rap. all of us are always going to have something that we have to manage, that we have to mitigate, that we have to navigate, that we can't change. And I think coping is a huge skill set that we don't talk openly about, that we don't invest enough forethought in, so that when we hit obstacles or things come our way that we just really, really wish we didn't have to deal with, but we do. Maybe if we had those resources and those tools and those abilities and skills, we would be able to live a better life overall, right? I'm a firm believer in it's not what you have, it's what you do with what you've got that makes you happy, that helps you have a better life. And so I was thinking about that in terms, that's what I want to write about. That's what you're going to see some of my content change and shift into those different areas. And there's going to be lots of paper and journal and calendar stuff, because honestly, my obsession with paper and pens is what keeps me sane. And I'm going to do some videos on that too, because I do think, especially in this day and age of everything digital, everything, on the phone or the computer or the screen, don't stop watching me though. I think there's still value, obviously, in intentional screen time and the multitude of resources online. But I still think it's important we don't throw away the analog. There is so much comfort and power and fun and pleasure and sensory. Paper is fidget friendly. So there's still going to be plenty of videos about that. But I'm also going to be very intentional about hopefully giving some maybe not advice, but tips, tricks, strategies. In fact, if you look at my channel art for here on YouTube and even on my website, my little tagline now is problem slay, make a way, stay okay. Problem slay, figuring out how to solve the problems you can, managing and dealing with what it is you can control. Make a way. There's going to be stuff we can't fix, we can't get rid of, we can't avoid. So how do we make a way to make it manageable, to deal with it, so that we don't suffer needlessly? And lastly, stay okay. How do you do all of those and still manage to be okay yourself? Protect your mental health. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Problem slay, make a way, and stay okay. So what have I been doing? Trying to find a way to do that for myself. Being really intentional over the last 3-4 months to do that. And I decided that one of the ways I could do that is, I realized that affirmations are great, but actions are even better. Putting things into practice so I could instigate positive change, whether that be making myself feel better or actually making changes in my daily life to affect how things, tip the odds in my favor, turn possibility into probability so I could have a better day, so things would ultimately get better. And again, that doesn't always have to do with controlling something you can't or getting rid of something. Oftentimes, it's how we choose to come to terms with something, or how we manage it, how we change and shift our focus so that one irritant or that one thing we wish we could get rid of, we can still be happy and joyful and have a good life despite the fact that hurdle may never go away. And so I realized I needed to find a way beyond Post-it notes, beyond posters or sayings or whatever. I needed visual cues that I could see throughout my day that would help remind me of things I could do, things I could actively do to improve things, either on the spot and or long term. And I thought, object lessons. I loved using object lessons when I was a teacher. What is that? That's when you use a tangible object to teach something much more abstract, so that when a child or anybody sees that object, they're immediately reminded of the lesson that was tied to it. And so I wrote a book, and it just released on Amazon. And actually right now it's 54% off, so it's a great deal. And it's called Common Things, Core Truths, Everyday Objects and Practical Ways to Improve Your Daily Life. And it's a really simple book. It includes 50 different items that you see, common things you can see everywhere in your daily life. For example, a chair, a timer, a clock, cleaning supplies, a basket of laundry. And associated with each one of those little things is going to be a short 2-page write-up on an object lesson on how when you see that one thing, you can be empowered and remember a way that you can actually take action in your own life easily in order to affect positive change. So yeah, this was a real win for me because I'm proud of this, because I use this in my daily life, still do. And I'm trying to do this with my adult son, the one who just got his chemistry degree, because this is common sense. But common sense is going away. And honestly, common sense can be really difficult to remember if you're struggling woefully to manage a lot of crap in your life that you can't change. And so I'm hoping that this is a way to help people, hopefully you, remember that even when things feel completely out of your control, there's a lot that's still in your control and a lot that you still can do to affect positive change and to make your life better. Simply put, I'm tired of making do. I really am. I want the rest of my life to be the best of my life, and I want the same for you too. So there you have it. I'm going to keep this video nice, brief, and short. If you're interested in checking out the book, just learning more about it or checking it out, I'm going to leave a link to it, the Amazon link down in the description below. If you do happen to get it, please let me know what you think. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love a review on Amazon of your genuine opinion. But yeah, for those of you who do check it out, I hope you appreciate and learn and just gain a lot from that book as much as I did writing it. But it's so good to chat with you again, and I hope that you're having a good 2025 so far, and I'm grateful for all of us that we still have a lot of 2025 to go, and I look forward to pushing out some more videos shortly. Yeah, so we can all make this year the best one yet. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.